Well, hello there. I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know. Maybe I should turn the music down a little bit. Well, anyways, today we're gonna try to do something. I don't know. I'm gonna try. I've been messing around with this idea of emulating Flux Kontext before the API thing. Well, the API is already out, but I wanted to see if I could actually do this before that, like, or at least something like it, while we wait for the development version of this thing to arrive. And I don't know. I also thought that maybe I could see if this live stream could amount to something. I don't know, but we'll see if people find themselves here. I don't know, but I'm just gonna start messing around, see what happens. And let's just load image. And yeah, hopefully people will come in here and we'll have like a, let's see, I'll use that one. We'll have like a Q&A session or something. People can ask me random questions and see if I can answer them. So I don't know, the upside of the thing about Flux Kontext that makes it interesting is that you can just take some random images and I guess just put them together to make something else, something new, based upon those images. Let's see what we can get here. Oh yeah, let's go with that. Taco truck. But yeah, the idea is that you just have like a bunch of images, put them together, and somehow from doing that, you can, I don't know, create a new image based upon putting them together and the prompts I guess you use with them. And I think I'm gonna try to do this just straight to video. Let's see if that's actually possible. Probably shouldn't do it that way, but because I don't think Flux Kontext is actually video. I don't know. I could be wrong. At any rate, let's just keep going. Let's see how we're gonna do this. I want to put both of those images on there, but all right, let's just build out this thing first. And yeah, the title is a little bit of a, what do you call it? I wouldn't call it clickbait per se, but I'm not actually, Flux Kontext, at least for the moment, I guess you could say, is proprietary, so it's not like I can actually emulate that. But the concept of it, not that, not trim latent. And this goes here, back here. Well, this also gives an opportunity for those people who are interested in watching me do it from the ground up and having the opportunity of not only watching me do it from the ground up, because I think that's most of my videos, but also possibly ask me about things as I'm doing it. But, I guess we gotta wait till people filter in. If there is gonna be anybody. I don't know if my channel's worthy enough for a live stream yet. Alright. Okay, so the idea is that I'm not seeing people do stuff for like concatenate, but I don't think concatenate is that effective. Because I want these to be here. I'm gonna use this vase thing to put them in the reference image thing. And I don't know, I think there is a version of this that's, I don't think that they're not the same size, but I can try to make this the same size. I guess it's that one. I'm just gonna put it this, because this one's ready for this size. So I haven't even finished building the thing out. I'm already thinking about it. Yeah, we need to resize. And this one, 832 and 480. And we will crop this one. Make it in the center. Still don't know exactly how I'm going to do this, but I think I'm just, you know what, I'm going to do the same kind of thing I was doing before, like, because I know I've been doing a lot of this stuff lately about masking, and I think this is a good opportunity to try that again, doing this way, to layer them on top of each other, because I don't know how it really interprets when you concatenate something. And concatenate is basically just, for those of you unaware, it's like if I take these two images and put them together and make them one image, but basically just adding it side by side, or up and down, or left or right. And that's not what I want. I want to literally combine this image into this image, so that way it interprets it that way, if that makes any sense. So yeah. The first thing, let's just build out the rest of this thing first before I get all involved in that. Get the simple stuff out of the way. And hopefully my machine doesn't crash while I'm doing all this. And my air conditioning isn't too loud because it's very hot right now. And I don't want to turn it off. Especially if I'm going to be running this. Oh, that is not what I wanted. Let's see. Which one? Let's use that one. This goes here to VAE. Up. And the model unit. Let's use a smaller one. Just because we're doing multiple things with the machine right now. Okay. Alright. There. What are we gonna call this stuff? Flux fake context and demos. And let's go with UNIPC. Let's go with that one today. 4.0. That's 15. Simple. Yeah, okay. And maybe, you know what? Yeah, let's just go with that for right now. I don't know. So let's see, how can I... Well, first things first, let's remove the background of this thing. Let's see if we can do it. There's so many ways to do it. Let's go with this one. Move background, and then what do we want to do? Put them together. So let's just use the image composite. Let's go with that one. And this will be the source because we're going to put it on the other one. Alright. And this will be the destination. Well, yeah, you know what? No, let's do it from here, like this. we're gonna, let's just preview that. Make sure I'm doing this right. Oh my god. Oh yes, freaking sizes. Oh wait, no, that's the alpha thing, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's that alpha thing. Yeah. Still didn't do exactly what I wanted because I didn't put the mask in. There we go. Boom. Okay. So what's the next thing here? Alright, so they're kind of there already. That's a pretty decent reference image. So let's do that. Now the real thing is, because I know a lot of times in that Flux Kontext thing, they use 3 images, not just 1 or 2. So how can we do this like even further beyond that, you know? So this is 1 image now, and this will be our reference. And I just keep all the stuff over here like this. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, let's do the run through without any prompt and just see what it does. And I don't want that many frames. Let's make this really small. I think it was like 37 before, something like that. Hold on a second, guys. Brief intermission. Oh, crap, I forgot to forgot to turn it back on. Sorry about that. I just added this. I was gonna add the cause vid thing. That's the only thing I did. 0.32. Okay, from here to here. Yeah, let's just run it really quick just to see that it functions correctly. See what we get. I don't know how long it's gonna take to load up everything. But alright, what do we want it to be though? Okay. Let's see. Asian. Ooh, I do not know how to spell again. This is like probably the most embarrassing thing ever. I'm such a horrible speller. It's a woman with pink hair leaning. Oh, okay, yeah. Leaning against a pink Ducati motorcycle. Oh wait, you know I forgot the freaking. Sorry, this. Let's turn down this music a bit. I forgot about the music part. Okay. Ducati motorcycle, and I guess Ducati. I don't know. Young Asian woman with pink hair, leaning against a pink Ducati motorcycle, with a food truck behind. Oh no, in the background. In the background. And we need a camera movement. So let's put this here. The camera pulls out to reveal. Ooh. Oh my god. Is that how you spell reveal? My brain is like, I don't know what's going on right now. The camera pulls out. I don't know. Slowly. I don't know. My brain is like does not register that as a word for some reason. Ducati is, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't know what a Ducati is. Oh my god, that's terrible. What is going on? That definitely is not what I wanted to. That's not what I wanted. Connected the reference information I want to base the video. Screw it. Let's just run it again. Blurry images. I can't remember all the negative things. Well, one thing's for sure. It definitely didn't do much with the reference image like this. And it is 832 by 480. So that matched up. We don't really have a control video or a control mask that's probably worthy of anything. I don't know if feeding this mask would do anything, because it'd just be an outline of her. I don't know if that's valuable for anything. Screw it. Let's put it there just to see what happens. It doesn't mean much of anything, though. But I guess without knowing what it is. So, okay. Is there a way... You can't put clip vision in this, can we? One image to video. Honestly, I think it might work better with this. Let's might work better with this altogether. Because this technically is the image, right? So if we just layer the images on top of each other. What did it do? Yeah, it's totally not paying attention to the reference image at all. I don't know if it's caused it or not. It's moving pretty fast though. Let's go with 20. Let's see what it does there. Oh crap. Disable this. Or no, it doesn't matter. This is not gonna run. It's clip vision encode. Each. Maybe I have the wrong scheduler. Maybe I should go with DDIM again. Okay, let's see what this does. And oh wait, what would that do if I keep the trim latent on when it's not even connected to this? What will that do? Huh. Interesting. But the cause of it might be interfering too. Who knows? It might just not work for this that well. But that doesn't look anything like the character. Although it is listening to the prompts. Yeah, it's doing it like it's text to video or something. I do have the right one, right? VAC. Alright, so this is image to video, so let's do it with that. Where is that one? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking at the moment. I don't know. This one might take a while. I don't know. I'm not really sure. God, I can't think of any negative like prompts for some reason. Like I'm just drawing a blank right now. this might take a while. So, let's see. Why wouldn't vase work correctly? That's the real question. Because if it considers it one image, but I guess we don't have anything. Again, there's no control video. You don't. If there's no control video, there's really no reason to just use that. It should probably just be the one image to video, right? That makes the most sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Blurry images, overexpose. Camera pulls out. Oh my god. I didn't even type it, dude. Oh no. Pulls out slowly. Yeah, I think I'm kind of dyslexic or something. Camera pulls out slowly, not pulls slowly out. That does. I think I'm supposed to reveal the young Asian woman with pink hair and wearing an orange tank top. She is leaning against a pink Ducati motorcycle with a food truck in the background behind her. So I guess what I'm trying to do is accomplish the goal of putting these images that are unrelated within each other, and then allowing that to be the framework for how it creates the new video, rather than, I guess, I honestly don't know exactly what Flux Kontext is doing, but I assume it's doing something like just like this. The question is, all right, how do I get 3 different images together? That's the real question. Even if I can pull this off. Let's see. Something's about to pop up. Let's see what happens. Oh my god, drum roll. There we go. Look at that. She's not really doing much, but the concept works because it's just looking at it as if it's one image. But of course, my prompt wasn't really that great. I think that was really the issue on this one. You know what? Wait a minute. I'm using that latent thing, but is it needed? I don't even know. Let's just rerun that. Let's run that one more time. Oh yeah, this is with the DDIM too, so it might do something different. So I guess it kind of works in theory. The question is, again, can I get 3 images in there? I need another image that makes sense to go alongside this. You know what? This would be nice if this was in the background and then somehow we put the food truck in there. Okay. So how do we get 3 images? All right, let's do this. We want to take this and we want to remove the background of this too. So let's duplicate this one or clone it. Okay. What do we have? Image composite. I could do it like, whoa, what's this one? Oh, it's a grid. I don't want that. Container. What? What exactly is this? I've never used this before. I don't even know how I have it. Method pair matrix. Image composite absolute by container. I don't know what that means. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so this is, I want this to be the container. Let's do another one of these. Oh, let me. Oh, God, I keep forgetting about this freaking music. Let me turn this music down a little bit. Yeah. I don't even know how loud it is. I can't tell. Okay. So image. Oh, did that make it already? Yeah, it did. Okay. Image. We don't need to remove the background of this one. Let's say the container is the background. Let's just imagine that that's what that means. And this is the food truck? Yes. Okay, so that AXYXBY background. Oh wait, okay. Wait, what? Yeah, let's say image A is the background. Alright. I don't know what this container thing means still. But there's no mask. Yeah. What is that? You know what? Let's do this differently. If we could get this with the background of the Kogi tacos out, all right, and then put this in the background of that. How about, let's see if we can pull that off. Okay, so we want to get this to remove the background, right? Are we doing that already? Yes, here. Put that to the destination one. Mask is included. Alright, screw this thing. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it's trying to tell me. Alright. Resize image. Minimize this so I can think better. Moving background and resize the image. The destination is on the background. The other one's on top with it as masked off, so it should do this. And then we layer that we take the result of this and then take that composite and then recomposite this on top of that. So let's clone this one. This is now the destination. No, this is the source. And then this is the destination. Although it doesn't have a mask. This requires a mask to work, doesn't it? So we'll need to remove background from here. Need to remove background from here and put that here. Right? Minimize that. Then take this. That makes your new composite preview that out. Alright? Hey, look at that. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. A weird camera movement. We still don't have the motorcycle in there, so we're gonna nix that for a second. Let's not run this. And just take this one out of that. Alright, let's see what this does. Alright, boom. It's a bloody mess. Okay. It didn't quite cut it out the way we wanted to. But, okay, what did it do here? Black against there. So it did cut out the food truck. And then we wanted the food truck thing and this to lay on top. What is this mask is pulling from the background of here? I felt like that was right, but I don't know. Because it looks like it cut it out well right here. But then it turns on us. Because, yeah, she's not in the image. I think we need to do it from here. Let's do it from here rather than from here. So we don't need to remove the background from this. Right? Or do we? We do. It's already removed right here. We need to do it again for this version. Ugh. This is definitely a mess. Clone for this. Minimize to not look too sloppy. Remove background from. See, one thing I don't like about this is what makes me want to use the segment anything, because I don't know if it's gonna remove the mask like I want it to. That's the problem with that. Ugh. Okay. And then this goes as the source and destination on top. Let's just see what it does. Yeah, it just obliterated the food truck. Because it thinks I just want to focus on her. That doesn't work. I think I would literally have to use the other one. Sensitivity. I don't know. Although I do think that looks kind of cool. A silhouette of a food truck. Okay. How do you get 3 images on top of each other? I thought it's screwing everything up. I guess the other way is I could just mask it off manually, right? Alright, let's not get all fudged up with this stuff. Alright, I like this part, right? So let's get rid of all this extra garbage here. I like this one. I would like to see this masked off. Okay, that was copy clip space, by the way, if you're not familiar with that, I'm not at the point where I can just make this automatic right now. I want to make it work first. While we're figuring this out, let's just run another iteration of this. The camera pulls out slowly. They're really unusual woman with the pink hair. Wearing an orange tank top. Pink hair. Wearing an orange tank top and blue jeans. She is leaning against a pink Ducati motorcycle. We might need more frames too. There might just not be enough frames on this thing. Alright, yeah, whatever. Let's just go with that, yeah? There's people in the truck? I didn't know there was people in the truck. I just realized there's people in the truck. Anyways, let's go. Oh crap, I had altered the wrong thing. I altered the vase, not the... I'm supposed to alter this many frames. This vase thing is confusing me now. Alright, let's just get rid of this, or at least bypass it. Forget about the trim latent thing. Alright, let's just do what I wanted to do, which was... Oh, wait. I don't know if there's a... Maybe a little bit of the wheel left here. I don't know. I need to use my drawing pen. This mouse is killing me. Okay. For those of you who don't have a drawing tablet, I feel very bad for you. Oh, not that. I didn't block that out good enough. I don't know how perfect this has to be, but in theory, this should work, right? I'm gonna leave that there. Who cares? Because I don't even think, technically, the perspective of this is off for the street corner for the just a bite thing, anyways. I almost feel like I should resize it for that. But oh wait, hold on. Look at this. A little bit of an OCD thing. Okay, I think that's good. Alright, so we have this masked off. And what we want, source, mask, and then we have here destination. I don't even know if we're going to be able to see that in the background. At least not see it correctly. But I do feel like we're getting somewhere, at least. At least with the concept of like, oh, 3 images, madness, my good sir. Oh, geez, painting mass holder. Idea is to have the shop image be visible behind the truck, right? Yeah, that is the idea. I want the just a bite thing to be behind the truck. But I probably should make the other image smaller, which I know is possible. Like if I make this one like smaller and more in the foreground, maybe like to the bottom right hand corner, then you can see more of it. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out if there's a hack to doing this, like something similar to Flux Kontext. Because I feel like if you just think about it in a more, I guess, artistic way and drift a little bit away from the concept of like you need a special node for it, because I feel like this with the stuff they've given us right now, there's that option is available. We just gotta wrap our heads around it first. If we can wrap our heads around what it is we're trying to accomplish, we probably can do it in some other way rather than just relying on the node to do it for us. Although I am looking forward to the Flux Kontext thing coming out for the, more development side or the open source version. But again, I don't know if I'm thinking about this right, but I don't think the Flux Kontext by itself is for video. I think it's just to put the images together on top of each other. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember exactly. But anyways, yeah. After this gets finished running, I'm gonna see what it looks like with. Oh yeah, it still does it. This is a weird thing. It does use the trim latent from here, despite the fact that it doesn't use anything else. And I don't know if that helps or not. I'm not even quite sure about that. Okay, so this is the one where I cut out the background, and I didn't have anything there except for the blackness. So it doesn't really do much of anything. She's not really behaving with the prompt. That's why maybe that this trim latent thing might be interfering. I don't know. Because it doesn't feel like she's behaving right. Okay, so Flux Kontext is more like Photoshop with layers and stuff. I've not tried it yet. Still have fun with Juan and Hung Yuan 3D 2.0 stuff. He's wanting me to try experiment with layers. Yeah, like I actually did some stuff before when I was just dealing with like Flux, where I did like I think I used just, I think it was image blend. I was using this. It's a comfy core thing. And I just, basically, all it does is it takes two images. They have to be the same size. And you just blend them together. And that was the first method. It's like, huh, there's something really cool about just blending these things together and seeing what you get. But it doesn't do it with, it doesn't have masking technically with this. So you can't, like, do it where you're cutting stuff out. But let me see something here. Before I do this, let's just get rid of this for a second. Because we're not really using it, except for that trim latent thing, which also I don't think is really necessary. Come back here. Alright, let's see what it does. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, wait. Oh, God. Am I not thinking correctly on this? Alright, something reversed. Something's not right. That didn't work out like I planned it would. Why is... It does look cool, though. I kind of like that for some reason. But I want to know why it's backwards like this for me. What did I do wrong? Okay, the mask. Oh, it is the mask. That's right. Let's God, what's that thing we used to use the image? I think it's a layer utility. Layer mask, blend, image blend. I think it might have been this one. Or is it? This one has it too, actually. I just want to invert that mask. And we're gonna just keep it as is, 0, 0. There we go. Alright. I don't know, I kind of like it though, because it's like you're looking in through some weird box or object or something. This is kind of cool, man. I kind of like that. Let's just save this. Save that for later. Even though I can get it back easily. I don't even know why I did that. Okay, so let's see what happens when we use this as the reference image. Okay, let's do that. It might be the DDIM though too. Maybe I should go back to UNIPC. I'll keep everything the same. But yeah, I don't know if that trim latent thing was interfering with it, like understanding what the prompt was doing or something. But it didn't feel like it was listening to the prompt at all on those iterations. Yeah, but the 3 images, I could have swore there was a way to... There's got to be somebody where it's like a whole bunch of images you can do at once, so I don't have to use like a whole bunch of nodes. Image from, image to... Oh, you can put 2 different masks on this one. Image grid composite. Composite images, foreground, background. I don't know what this means. Like maybe I should just run this just to figure what does the container do? But the thing that throws me is it says that the background could be image A or image B, but not the container. So that's why I don't understand what container means. I don't know what that means. I have to, I guess, just run it. And I'm guessing these are some weird coordinates about how you can change on the X and Y coordinates, which is kind of something I need for what I was talking about for this. So I might just try it just for that. But I don't know what container means. But it's an image. So that's the part that throws me. Alright, let's just, for now, let's just, since we have coordinates here too, right? You got negative and positive? Okay. So, we can't resize too much though, can we? Or is that, what does that mean actually? I use too many different types of this. One of them says offset, and it's still negative positive too. So I gotta demo that out. I gotta figure out which, but I know that's movement of the one that's on top, so that does make sense. I might have to mask this off a little bit better. Oh, maybe that's from the other one underneath it actually, yeah. Huh. Okay. I think we're on to something at least. Background removal, image composite, clip vision, put that over here. Let's line these images up in a better way. There's gotta be a better way to do this. This is this one. Yeah, this. Yeah, okay, now it might be easier to look at this way. We do need a composite. This can go over here. It's the first composite. Right, and then second composite is here. Like that. Yeah, maybe. Alright, yeah. Something like that. And this is what? Garbage. And this is that thing I wanted to mess with. Okay. So let's imagine that this is the container. And image A is the background, so this would be behind the other one, but we want to pull it from, no, yeah, that's right. We need to resize it first. Pull it from there. Oh my god, okay, let's, so this doesn't get confusing. Okay, let me just label these right so it doesn't confuse me. Image 1. Image 2. Image 3. Alright, so, and we're gonna do that. This is color code them. Alright, this is purple. And you're gonna be green. And you're gonna be red. Okay. So, and let's just follow suit so that way it makes it even more easy to do. So, all you guys are green. Okay, alright. So that's the container. Image. This is a composite, but we need the background removed. This is a composite of both those two. So in theory, we're trying to do it without doing the composite first, just to see what this node does, right? Yeah, let me not need to expand that just to pull this out. Okay, so this is image A. Right. Boom, boom. Frequently buffering when you're watching. Okay. Get a better connection, friend. Somebody just texted me something. Alright, green, green. Now, boom, B. Alright. I think that works. I don't really know. But, again, I don't really know what it's doing either. Yeah, this cause bit is not really increasing the speed on here. Let's see if we can get... what's that other one we always use for these? Oh my god, what is that other thing that... I feel like I'm losing my mind here. What is it called? Tcache, that's right. One Tcache. Let's see if we can... We are doing image to video on float device 2.75. I think that's way too high. Alright, what do we get? Hey! It might be too short to show the that she's wearing jeans, like I said in the thing. God, how long did that take? That took 9 minutes. Okay. We need to say that these guys are doing something. There is a food truck in the background behind her. Background. Two men working inside of it. You know, I'm gonna save the truck. Just be redundant. Okay, bum, bum. Alright, so before we run this again, I want to see what this thing does. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what that just did. I felt like it didn't do anything. Method pair, matrix, background. What's image A? Is this thing. We remove the background on this? Yes, we did. Yeah, I don't know what this thing does. Yeah, I don't know what this doesn't do anything for me. Alright, so that plan doesn't really do much. So I guess for right now, this is as good as I can think of. Alright, 49, coefficients, image to video 40. I'm just gonna run it for right now. I forgot, yeah, when I restarted, that's right. When I restart the whole thing after bypassing everything, it has to reload every node again. If I run it once without them being reloaded. That kind of sucks. I don't know if I think Cosbit is one of those things. Does it work well with Tcache? I don't remember if it does. I kind of stopped using Sage Attention. And I think that would help me with this one at least with image to video. Is anybody having trouble with the connection, by the way? Because I don't know if I'm monitoring that well or not. I don't know. I'm not certain. I'm not really until I can get it to actually do what the prompt says. I'm not certain that it's really accomplishing the goal yet. Although I feel like I'm almost there actually, which is surprising because I didn't think I would get there this quickly. But I do want to figure out if I could figure out a way to kind of automate this. I mean, I have an idea. Where I wouldn't have to mask this off this way. I think Sam 2 might be able to do it, actually. I just don't want to run Sam 2 right now. But I feel like there's an easier way to do this. There's an easier way to just remove the black from here because it's all black, right? I'm pretty sure if you can get it to be a solid color, it shouldn't be that hard to be able to remove it like automatically. Remove background alpha. Yeah. That one I did with the previous tutorial probably works the effective way. I just don't want to add that many nodes. I want it to not be that complex just to take off a black background. Like, it shouldn't be that difficult to do that. I shouldn't need like 6 more nodes just to take off a black background. That just sounds excessive. Let's make it yellow. Okay, this is the image composite, right? That's what comes from here. And then we took this and put it here. Because we couldn't mask it off automatically, so we had to do a manual. That's the only thing about that. Like, if I was to like release a workflow for this, I'd have to tell people that you have to copy this over to here, which I don't want to do. I don't want to do that because it adds a manual step to it. Said using bin 2 seems overly confident to remove just black. Yeah, right. It's just black. Yeah, like if this was Photoshop, you just fill bucket, fill bucket mask. Like I wish the even worked that way on the actual like here. Like I wish this thing just worked just like that. Like yeah, all this black, I want that removed. That's it. But it doesn't really work that way. I don't think. Can you do that? Like, can I just like? Oh no, this is already masked off. That's why. I was like, but like, why shouldn't? That's what the fill bucket should do. It shouldn't be I have to make an outline around it and then fill it in. It should be like like one color if it's a solid color, or at least you should have the option to do that. I guess because anybody who's used Photoshop before, or any, even like MS Paint or something, that's what you're accustomed to using that fill bucket for. It's just like if the color is very similar or it's all solid, like that's what it means. Like I want that filled in. And this. Sometimes it's crazy to me how much just color coding something makes things clear. It's the most simplest, straightforward thing, but it's really necessary to me. Without color coding, it's just like really like, what am I looking at again? But when you know that this color belongs to this and that belongs to that, it makes it a little bit easier to deal with. Let's just say all of these are related. I don't know if that makes any sense. Oh, for those of you who are watching, thanks guys for tuning in. Appreciate the stream. And let me know if you have any questions. It doesn't have to be about this, by the way. If you have anything you want to ask or even just comment on. Oh, here it goes. Here we go. Let's see what happens. And nothing. What is that? I don't know what that is. It's doing a push in, not a pull out. Like, like why is it pushing in over and over again? Like, it's just weird. Maybe I should describe it better. The camera pulls out to reveal. Let's see. And how long was that? That was another 9 minutes and 32 seconds. And that was with the T-Cache? I did that with T-Cache, right? It has this weird sparkly thing that happens. Like, it was like some... The more you know. Okay. The camera pulls out... and extends to reveal. You know, sometimes I think about when these prompts, and I know this is like, you know, Wan is like a Chinese thing, and I think to myself like, when they translate, does it mean like directly what we think it does, or how they translate it? Like I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say here, but I think some stuff gets lost in translation sometimes when we're talking about how you're directing it. Nice, just got here. I've been messing with this too, driving me nuts. What exactly have you been messing with? This is the Wan vase thing or Wan image to video? Everton? Yeah, Everton, that's what it is. Positive prompts. Negative prompts. Okay. Trying to emulate Flux Kontext. Yeah, right? I was like, dude, just give us the one that's like, oh, this conditioning not even tied in? Where's this negative? Oh, it's not even tied in. Oops. Um, yeah, it's like, yeah, why don't they just give us the open source already, man? That's all. I just want to mess with that. Maybe it doesn't have all the features. Just give me the open source already. Resize image, resize image. All right. I don't think if that was with the T-Cache, I don't think we gained any time. Like it literally seems like the same amount of time that it took. Maybe I should lower the steps more. I just feel like I'll start to lose quality. Well, also, you know, another reason I wanted to do live because I wanted to figure out again how to do a little bit more interactive between me and the audience, you guys. But I also wanted to show that I'm not like BSing, like that I'm not like getting this because somebody said in the comments that this workflow looks kind of like mine. It's like maybe I was inspired by somebody else's like workflow or something, but like I do build these things myself. Like I'm not like just like taking someone else's stuff. I didn't want it to. I felt like it was some people were thinking that, I guess, like, but I do get inspired by. I mean, it's all like a cross pollination type thing, you know. It's like that's what I like about the open source thing. It's kind of like a community, but you take a little idea that somebody has and something right here. So you know, just trying to see what I can make work. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to offset this thing. That's what I meant to do. Thank you, Everton. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I forgot. I forgot to mess around with this because I wanted to see about how I could shift her in the food truck over to the side so we can see more of the background of the, what do you call it? You know what? Let me just do that real quick. Unless this thing is gonna kind of take that long, I want to do that really quick. Let's stop. I want to see how that works exactly. I haven't messed with this enough. I think I did mess with it like one time. So what do we need to lock off here? This stuff, all this. Okay, and yeah, let's just. What happens when you throw it 22? What does that do? Tensor dimension 3. Okay. I don't even know what the heck. Where are we looking at here? Is that sizing? This is a composite of this, and this goes to this preview. This one is a composite of this going to encoding. That's going directly to it. Holy crap, I just realized something. I did not even see that. I just did. The image that I'm using for the clip encode, the vision encode, is not the same image I'm using for the reference. That might be a problem. That might be a problem. That might be why it's not really listening to me that well. Uh-oh. Oops. uh yeah. Uh no relight node. What's a relight node? I don't know if I know what that is. What's relight? I'm definitely missing something. This is the image composite node. This is going to the food truck. The food truck. Oh yeah, okay. Because that's why. I think that's why it felt like it was floating. Yeah, because the clip. Okay, yeah, the clip encode thing, right? This was just for the cutout of the truck and the girl here, and that was being the thing that it was reading, but then the reference image was the whole thing together. So it didn't have the setting in there at all. Okay, that makes sense a little bit. So this is just supposed to be a preview of this before we take it over here and this goes here. Because I was like, why is this disconnected? Because it's just supposed to be for this. Okay, so this is almost like a dead end right here. Alright, let me just look at this again. Because I was trying to figure out what this thing is doing. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I gotta read up on this. Is it custom node? What is what does this do? Relight. Simple. Oh, is this what this is, like realigning it? Is that what this does? Brightness, XYZ. Oh, wait a minute. This is the... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I know what that means. It reproduces the light of the background into the foreground subject. So, okay. The normals. What are the normals? Is that the thing on top? What is the image versus the normals? You still need a control net? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't used it before. You tell me. Well, I'm also thinking, like, is there anything I could use for... I don't know if it has any significance right now using, like... Because I was using... Novas can do that. The preprocessor. Okay. Yeah, I was using Wand Vase when I first started, but it was giving me some garbage, and I was realizing that, well, if I have the image already together, why would I need to do that? If I can composite all this into one image, then all I have to do after I do that is just animate that image, right? I think I was just trying to use Vase just to use it. Let me see what... I want to see what this thing produces really quick. Now that I've connected the right image to Clip Vision encode. Yeah, alright. Because the idea is it's supposed to pull out. But it still keeps pushing in. Even with it just being clipped off, it still pushes in. That's not pulling out. So, I don't know. Okay. It's interesting. I'm gonna mark that. I'm gonna make a note of this node. Let's see what I can do with that. Clever you Clip Vision magic. Yeah, something. I don't know. I just want to know. That's at this point. I just want to know what it's doing. I feel like it's just from everything I've seen, the way like they'll just take certain, and the funny thing about it is when they do it right, they take images that automatically look like they already go together. That's one of the reasons why I haven't done anything much on. I think I have it in another window actually. Like this. This is I was messing with because I was doing the a logo animation, right? For the this is what is that thing called? The first frame and last frame thing. And I was just thinking like it has to be so much like closely related before it actually starts to make sense to use that, because it's so choppy. I'm trying to make it smooth. I feel like I have to do something with tiling or something like that to make the transition between the first frame and the last frame really smooth. But right now, like, it just doesn't seem to work that well, and I just don't want to give a tutorial on it just because it's like I don't like it. So right now, so far, like I haven't found a really good purpose for first frame to last frame, unless like I already made a video and it just doesn't work out smoothly, and I don't know, like I take the first frame of that one and make a last frame of the other one. Oh, that's cool. I'm a motion designer. That's really useful to me. Oh, you mean for like the logo stuff? Yeah. Yeah, technically, yeah, my the logo for this channel, that's all that stuff is done by AI. I didn't do any. I was just like, eh. I was gonna draw it, and then I was just like, you know what? Nah, why not? Let's see what AI has to do. And I went through like about like 20 iterations before I just liked the one that it had, because it looked kind of like this mystical thing. Even the loading screen thing where I have like the little bottle that looks like potion that fills up. That's AI too. I almost felt like it would be messed up. Like it's a weird thing to say, but like I almost felt like I wouldn't be doing it justice if I didn't make everything on this channel kind of like some type of AI rendition, because like it's kind of what it's about. But I don't think I've seen anybody really do videos on like graphic stuff, just like, graphic design or anything that's related to like simpler things. Like everybody's so much attention on people trying to make things realistic. Let's see what this is. Let's make these. Mm, color should this be? Let's go red. Why not? Oh yeah, by the way, this character is AI as well. This is another character. This is a character I created like that. I'm trying to do like a bunch of what do you call it? A lore for, and I just like Kogi tacos, so I just keep focusing in on that for some reason. You started following. You started. Why did you start following? For the lores are powerful. Yeah, I haven't done one on a tutorial about how to create your own lores yet. Because I was wondering whether or not you can do it directly through ComfyUI, but I don't know if that's the most useful one. I believe I created her with Flux Gem, but I don't know if. The question is, how much is that what people are interested in right now? Especially if I think if Flux Kontext comes out with the way it's talked about or like advertised, it might make lores a bit obsolete. In the sense that like if you have an image of somebody and can turn it around in this other direction and put it in whatever context, you can change this. If that actually works as effectively as they say, you might not need to make lores anymore. You might just need just one image or so. Oh my goodness, what happened? All right, that's not exactly what I was looking for. What does it look like? It's like a Ducati cartoon. That is not what I was looking for. Okay, is it pink? It doesn't. I guess it's pink-ish. Oh man, no, that was not what I was going for. I don't even know what I can blame that on. Maybe it's because it's 10 steps. I don't know. I just want to blame something that's not me. I don't like that at all. I think this is why I keep going back to acid. Oh man, I don't know. I think that's why I keep going back to like DDIM for some reason, but not everything works. What is it? 60% of the time it works all the time. I might need more steps or something too, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just you get bad iterations just cause. I think the guys in there are kind of moving now. Let me see my weird theory about this thing. For some reason it moves faster when I do that. I don't even know what to do with this prompt. Let me just take the Ducati motorcycle out because it's trying to plug that in the scene. It's not even in the scene really. The camera pulls out and extends to reveal the young Asian woman with pink hair. It did. Oh wait, did it pull out though? No, it didn't. It did still pushed in. I think it reveals a little bit more. Like it sort of glances at the jeans or whatever, but it is not listening at all. Camera pulls out and extends to reveal the young Asian woman with pink hair, wearing an orange tank top and blue jeans. There is a food truck in the background with two men working inside the food truck. I don't know what else to say. Nah, screw it. I just run it again. Maybe better luck next time, I guess. Yeah, right. I think I was watching that the other day. I just turned it on. I think it was on like Prime or something. Amazon Prime. Well, despite the fact that it's not perfect, and I've never actually used the Flux Kontext API thing, and so I don't know how good the results are for that. I at least think I've came up with the notion of how to like do something similar to what it does. It's just 60% it works all the time. Let me see something here. He has so many models now, dude. So many. Okay, this is one I haven't looked at yet. I have not looked at Phantom at all. I don't even know what Phantom does right now. Is there anything on here that talks about it? Where should I look? Fun reward lures? What? This guy has so much different stuff, man. I'm trying to figure out how Kajai finds the time to do all this stuff. It bottles the mind. How is he just so much of this stuff? Well, alright. I think my theory, I'm just going to stick with this one for a while and figure out how to polish it. That's the issue with the other one, was feeling like it wasn't blending in well. When I did the video masking on Patreon, that was the issue with that one. I mean, I figured, yeah, the real way to get it to blend in was actually having, I think, vase in there. The problem is, now I can't remember how bad, or whether the vase thing actually had anything worthy of looking at. I don't remember now. We don't have a control video. We have no need for a mask. And we don't have... I don't remember what it looked like. Let's go back and see what the result was for this. Oh my god, what is this? Get it back, get in there. Okay. And... we need trim lane. That's what it is. Okay, negative, negative, positive here. Okay, what could we say that we don't like on this? We don't like it to be like cartoony, so let's say that. Cartoon. What else do we not like about this? Whatever this stuff. That's blurred motion, isn't it? Yeah. Blurry images. Cartoon. This is like flat hands. I don't even know. What is that? 2D flat image. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a good negative prompt. Here's a question. Wait, okay, what is this again? If composing still, you can use LBM relighting node after the you combine it with the LBM fixes the lighting. It helps my Photoshop needs. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to like really do something on. Oh, what is this? Hey, look at that. That looks like a pullout. And also, it actually looks like Hitchcock zoom, where it's like it pulls out while the truck seems. I don't know. The truck doesn't seem like it's coming forward. It does pull out, yeah. I don't know what this looks like. This weird awning or tarp just came off the back of the truck. You know what we should do? Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with DDIM, man. I like it better than UNIPC. It just does. Now I don't want to do this one invasive thing. Now I just want to go back to what I just did and work on the prompt. Goodness, thinking too hard about this. All right, hold on. Let's just do that for a second. Bypass trim latent. I want to do something different instead of like having the camera pull out. Let's make the camera static. A static camera shot. Oh my god, I always have trouble with this. Okay. She turns and walks towards the food truck. Oh my goodness. In the background. Wait. The background with two men working inside of the food truck. Okay. Redundant, yes, but sometimes I think AI responds better when I'm redundant. Should I get some popcorn? I should get some popcorn. I don't have any right now, but I don't know. She turns and walks around. She turns and walks towards. She turns. She turns and walks towards. Is it towards or toward? Toward the food truck in the background with two men working inside the food truck. All right, let's stick with that. And I'm gonna, for now, go back to what we were doing before. And this is going nowhere. It says fine. VAE, blah, 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 blah. We can bypass this altogether. Right? Trim latent is not a factor. Okay, go. Yeah, what we need to do is not have such a crappy edge on the shoulder here. I think that's an issue too. Okay. Yeah, that was my masking that made that look so bad. It has nothing to do with anything else other than that. And that's why I really want this to be automated too. I don't want it to be based upon someone's ability to draw. Especially if you know, again, I had a freaking pen doing this, and I still did it pretty bad. Ah. Okay. So, eraser. Oh, you know what? That's why I can't tell. It's black. That's why. Okay, so thickness. Oh, I still got the eraser. That's fine. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. Which GPU am I using? I am using. Whoa. Okay, there we go. I am using 3090. 3090 with 24 gigabytes of RAM. Of VRAM. I actually need to upgrade how much regular RAM I have. I only have 64 gigabytes of regular RAM. But I get thinking about this thing where I don't want to upgrade my system too much sometimes because I don't think that necessarily works well with some of these tutorials. Because I'm noticing too, like a lot of people keep asking me about like how to do stuff for low VRAM systems and stuff like that, and using like more quantized models, which I have a tendency to not use because I just want to see what the full thing looks like sometimes. But yeah, I don't. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I should just like stick with what I got and figure out better ways of doing things, so that way a lot of different people can use it. Because sometimes it's just as simple as like, yeah, just change the model and you'll be fine. You just use the model that works for your thing. But I do realize that, again, that's another reason why I don't like using like big workflows that always come with these issues of like having the problem of constantly like, oh, I got to reload this model, and then there's an allocation on device error and all this stuff like that. Yeah, I had the 3062. That was the first one when I first started doing this. That's what I had, the 3060 with 12 gigabytes. It's not bad. It works. It worked really well when I was just doing images. It's when all this video stuff started, I was like, dude, I can't do anything. Oh, you know what I haven't been doing? God, that's what I need to do. I need to write a note. I haven't done much of anything on audio. I don't know how much of a demand there is for making audio for any of this stuff. But I do know there's the voice stuff too. I want to talk about. I have something on my Patreon talking about using Tcache and Sage Attention, because Sage Attention does really help. but there's such like this problem with people and trying to install Sage Attention that like, and I'm a Linux user, so I can't help people with like installing Sage Attention, which I know is really like a big issue on Windows. Yeah, they actually, I think they got a lot of new audio stuff that's coming out like open source, but it's kind of flying under the radar right now. Yeah, see, like, dude, it's been so long since I've used Windows, man. I can't even say anything on it. Like, other than, I just like, I left and I never went back. I have a Mac computer and I've got two Linux computers. We're getting close. We're getting close. You know, this was actually supposed to be a frame from the cyberpunk thing I was doing, but I never I never finished the concept for this. What we got? What we got? Oh, they do it. They turned around, but they looked cartoony after they turned around, and they were supposed to have a ponytail, but I didn't specify. But hey, it's listening. It listens to the actions more than it listens to the camera movement, I think. So this is the real thing I'm trying to figure out. Like, I think it's very much dependent upon the realism of every object and how Juan picks it up. Maybe it's because I'm using. No, I'm using. Well, I guess it's still like FP8, but I don't know. It's still 14 billion parameter. And maybe it's because of the coefficient. I don't know. But how do you not get it to be cartoony when it turns? Because it doesn't look that way when she's looking right at us. But then when she turns around, it's like, oh, codename Kids Next Door or something. Like, it's not the same type of feeling anymore. That's the one thing I can't ever like wrap my head around, and I don't know that. I don't think photorealistic works for video, or at least for when I talk when it talks to Juan and all this kind of stuff. But it is following what I wanted to do. It's just sometimes polishing these things can be difficult. Okay, what do you call this? Is this like a window frame? I want her to approach this part, not like she's about to steal the food truck, because it looks like she's about to get into like the pass enter through the passenger side to go take the food truck away. Her lighting needs fixing. Oh, you mean like what you're talking about, that node you're saying, huh? Yeah, because she doesn't blend. She looks like she's been cut out. Yeah, you're right about that. Um, God, what did you call it? Red relight? Oh, relight. Yeah, because you're relighting the thing. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, but I need to have. You said this works with. You said this works with ControlNet. That's where the normals come from. LBM. Do I have this? I don't even know what that is. what is LBM? You said this before. You said this in some explanation. I have to go back in the chat or something. Okay. It won't work. Okay. Fair enough. What is this thing? Is that part of the image on there? That is. Okay. I was like, where is this coming from? I don't think this actually work. I don't think it actually do anything. Realistic. It's not one word, huh? It's two. And Saturday came show a photorealistic young woman with pink hair wearing an orange tank top approaching. I guess it's a window. He turns and walks toward the food truck window in the background with two men working inside of the food truck. It took 7 minutes and 57 seconds. Oh, you know something I haven't talked about before? Juan is better than LTX. I haven't revisited LTX in a while, but at the time when I left LTX, yes, Juan was much better than LTX. But I think, all right, yeah. For instance, like the interpolation thing, or the thing where it's like from one frame, from a start frame to like a finish frame. I think LTX probably is still capable of doing stuff that Juan, like again, when I use the first frame, the last frame on Juan, it always seems really choppy. I'll do, you know what? I'll do a tutorial on it anyways, just cause like, just to show what I'm talking about. But I'm trying to make those frames in between them like not so choppy. It almost feels like you have to have a minimum number of frames before to make it smooth. And if they're not like related, like they almost imagine like you're doing a bunch of iterations of some type of thing you want to see, and you just choose from the iterations that have the same type of prompt, so that way they're related to each other, so that way you can actually make something that flows together in transition. Because the problem is just the transitions don't seem smooth to me. That's the only thing I have against it. Like, it does stay true to the idea that yes, from one frame to the next, but if it's not a simple motion, if it's a camera movement change plus a change of the character in their position, then like it just doesn't really flow that well. If it's just them moving from one part of the frame to the next, then it kind of flows better. But here's the problem with that. Like, why would you have the first and last frame of them flowing from one, if this exact same scene and you have this character moving from one frame to the next? How did you get that? How did you get an iteration where it produced exactly the same scene and you could move it from one part of that frame to the next part of the frame without it being an animation? Like, I don't understand exactly why you would have these first frame, last frame things so related to each other. Like that, like when they put it in the Juan native thing in ComfyUI. They had that glass flower thing, and I was wondering, like, why would I have the one it why would I have these two images like so closely related to each other in like structure, like literally like one is, unless I did it myself, like if I had a drawing of something, and then I had another drawing that I completed, and then it just fills in the gaps in between in its own kind of way. That's the only way it seems like it's like really useful to me, or like it, you know, it makes sense that I would have it in that way. It's the 3090. That's my graphics card, the RTX 3090, with 24 gigabytes of VRAM. And also, again, another reason why I just, you know, the real reason I even switched to Linux in the first place was because it's less demanding as far as like on the with the operating system itself. Like Windows has this thing where it's like just in services running in the background, it takes up so much of your regular RAM just doing that, and I always like hated that. I really just, it was because I was doing stuff. I worked in the concert and corporate events world, and as like a lighting technician, and then I remember trying to do this show where the lighting stuff has to be done like really. It has to be done like if you have like a show, right, and the transition has to be done in real time. Everything has to be done like within a split second of time. And I had a computer, a laptop, but it wasn't like the top of the line thing. But it had Windows on it, but it would lag behind because it struggled to keep up with the timing of the audio track, because we would time code the audio track and everything. And so I was like, this is ridiculous. And they had the same program, the same software on Linux. And when I put it on the Linux laptop, it ran so smooth. And that's what like maybe, you know what? Yeah, I can't. I never went back. And I just realized all the stuff I care about, because for a while I stopped playing video games. So I cared less about stuff like that. But then when I got Steam, I could like still, like, cause Steam has this like little it's almost like a weird compatibility layer thing where I could play even the same video games I played like on Windows, and it's just I just had never had a reason to go back. Not to mention everything's free, so I was like, yeah, there really wasn't anything to go back for. MIDI controlled, something I did something that was MIDI controlled, but no, it's called DMX that they use in this corporate and concert event world. They use, it was USB to translate to DMX. I forget what it's called. It's like an Intech, I think is the name of the device that I use to go back and forth. But I also had to control like a 5-watt laser with it. So maybe if it was delayed at too much time, I accidentally shoot somebody in the face or something. You don't want to do that with a high-powered laser. So it just phased me away from Windows stuff, and I just never looked back. That's the only thing really I ever had against Windows. It's too many services that I don't even know what they are half the time, and they're just bogging down the machine. Like, it's like, why? Like I need to use the machine the way I want to use it. Why am I, all these other services in the background? And then again, I got used to the idea of just like using other, I guess, off-brand stuff, like GIMP is the image manipulator I use now, because you don't have Photoshop on here, and I use like Kdenlive for video editing. But in the basic structure is the same way. Once you get used to it, it's not even like that big of a deal, because I don't make like, I'm not trying to do stuff with After Effects or anything like that. If anything, I'm trying to do that with AI. Which STX model comes close to Flux? Huh. Well, they have these, what do they call them? If you look on Civet AI, which I'm not gonna pull up because I don't want the wrong stuff to show up. If I hit the wrong page or something when I search, but if you look on Civet AI, there is a bunch of them. I think it's more than one, but I know there's something that is literally it imitates Flux. There's a type of like LoRa that imitates Flux, but there also might be some type of like checkpoint merge type thing, where that's like it's just built into the model that it's like Flux. I can't remember what it's called because it's been a while. I actually probably should start messing around with SDXL again, just because it's the one thing I do like about the SDX stuff is that they're a lot faster. Everything's really, really fast. Even it depends on Juggernaut. I don't remember exactly what Juggernaut's. Yeah, it is the SDXL, isn't it? Yeah. Again, I don't know the improvements they made right now, or like how many, because there's so much stuff. Like you go to Civet AI, you could be on there for a long time looking through so many different types of like models they have on there. Depends on which Flux model you're comparing. It's now Dream Vision XL. Yeah. So I mean, what are you going for when you say like that looks like it comes close to Flux? Do you want it to be? Because like Flux has a certain type of like vibe to it, like right, like it's realistic but not quite photorealistic. Like it's like a Norman Rockwell painting or something. Like it has this like realism notion, but it's not real. Like it's just too. I don't know, the way the lighting hits. Oh wait, finished it through. Oh my god, she moved really fast, but hey, she actually went up to the window though. Look at that. I probably would need more frames to make it like really like a little bit more smoothly. But it's not Kogi Tacos, it's Kogi Taigo. What in the world? Maybe I should. Could I say that? Like say that it says Kogi Tacos and it actually respond to that? Yeah, I like it. I don't know if that photorealistic thing actually meant anything though. I don't know if it actually worked at all. But yeah, usually I put in stuff like saying like slowly because yeah, if it's only 16 frames per second, you can't really slow this down for like the on in the post production, I guess you could say. Yeah, and that's the only thing like stuff like Topaz because I know you can do all that upscaling stuff on it too. I can't get Topaz on Linux. That's one of the downsides. Slow motion. Is that like what was that? Was that Judge Dredd? Well, I think this is just called Dread. A static camera shot. She turns. Oh my god! Slowly toward the food truck in the background. Two working inside. And then I'll see if I can actually pull this. And then
truck suddenly drives away.
Wait a minute. You know what? Hold on. God, I didn't take the last frame. Oh my goodness. Damn it. Hold on a second. Ah, forget it. Don't. I'm not even gonna worry about it. Let's just do this right here. Okay, and then the food truck suddenly drives away toward the right hand side of the frame. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with my fingers? Yeah, let's go. Whatever. I don't think I have enough. It's probably gonna do it at the same time as she turns around, which would be, I think, be kind of funny. But I don't think I have enough frames for it to do all of that actually. But I just don't want it to take forever. This might be my last iteration of this, and I'm gonna call it a wrap because I think I've been, I don't know how I've been on this thing for some hours now, I think. But yeah. But yeah, this is my process though, guys. This is, I literally just kind of like talk my way through what it is I want to do. And you know, I never talked about this actually, but this whole idea of like the workflow is really like an ingenious concept of like a programmer's like way of thinking, but all of the programming stuff is kind of embedded within all these nodes, so you don't have to look at all that stuff. So that way you can just kind of like, if you think about it, okay, what is the task I need to achieve, break it down into smaller parts. You know, it's just like you're coding without having to code. Like you're just doing this thing where it's like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay, how do I do that? Like, what do I need to do that? And what are the possibilities and like ways I can approach it? Like that's basically my method the whole time. I'm just, what do I want to do first? Because I think one of the things that gets in the way of like the way people like try to come up with things is that they don't actually talk their way through it or like think about, okay, what do I really want to do? And then from there, okay, just piece together small things and see what kind of works and then link it to the rest of the thing. Because it's really fascinating to me sometimes when I look at some people's workflows and I think, how did it get that complicated? Like, how did it get so bulky? Like, it just like, you just went all the way over here. But it just shows how like everybody thinks differently about it. Oh, there's other thing too. I realized that I've never shown this before, but this is a cool thing to like not have something not take up so much space, but it's also, I never do it because it kind of hides things too much. But it's a cool thing. Oh, not all those. You can actually take these two nodes, right? Oop, I keep doing that. And convert to group node. And I don't know what I use. Let's say one image. Oh wait, one image to vid plus k sampler or k samp. And now it all comes together like one node when you have all the parameters locked inside of it. But you can, it's a cool thing to like not take up as much space, but it makes it look like it's like a whole new node. Like, where did this node come from? But you can also just, when you see it, you can take the nodes themselves. Oh, you can manage them like this. Close this out. Oop, I didn't mean to minimize it. But you can convert it back to the regular nodes too. But it does make it takes away like all the. I mean, it gets really messy sometimes. I do that for the stuff that I don't like show to everybody else. But yeah, I just don't like to hide like what I'm doing because that's what if you do that too much, it's like where did this note come from? And it's just really just two notes they're probably familiar with that they didn't realize it because it's like put together like that. Man, how to get the nodes all in straight lines look like circuit board. I love that. You mean like how I did? I know there's a thing where you can have like snap to the grid, I think, back here. I don't ever use it though. But I don't know, that's just me. I think it's just a little bit of OCD stuff. Like cuz it just if I can organize it visually, then it organizes better in my mind of what's going on. I think, trying to me the purpose of the whole idea of a workflow is to get rid of the clutter. So if your workflow looks cluttered, then you might be, working against yourself. That's why, like, when they came up, I still do. I just realized too that I'm like one of the few people that probably still uses the old school layout of ComfyUI. I haven't converted forward at all. Yeah, well, I'm glad that yeah, great insight. Thank you for rethinking how I do so much using ComfyUI video. Yeah, I think my real goal in this channel is really try to take the intimidation out of like using ComfyUI. I feel like because I know I felt that the first time I approached this too. I was like, what is all this stuff? And when I started to get the hang of it, I realized it's not as intimidating as one might think. So you can still come at it through a point of view of an artistic point of view, and it can work for you still. What was the other thing? I was looking at something. Oh, that's right. I wanted to see what the vase thing would do again. Screw it. We'll make that the final iteration. How about that? I need a little bit more time here. I just want to see what is that because I can't remember what it did. And this is no longer connected, so it goes nowhere. Condition. There's no reference. Same number of frames. But we need to change this to the model. So one vase. That's fun. I forgot I got multiple ones of these. Okay. Yeah, that's about right. I probably should describe what it was like when the truck goes away, like smoke by the tires and all that kind of stuff. It drives away toward the right hand side of the frame. There. From the back of the I don't know. There's white tire smoke coming from the back of the wheels of the truck. From under. That's too much to do. From under. I think that's better said like that. Because, back, I don't know exactly what that means. DP Oh my god, I always have trouble saying that. DPM plus plus has better quality than UNIPC or Euler, or it depends on the model. I think that really depends on the model because I don't really use DDIM or UNIPC on like image models. If it's just an image I'm creating, then I'll use stuff like Euler or DP or DP. Oh my god, I can't say that. DPM plus plus and all those other things. I usually don't use Euler on video because a lot of times when everything I get usually is something that's really stale looking when I do that. Oh, I don't slow. Oh, because yeah, I did say slowly, didn't I? I did say slowly. That's why I didn't move fast. And then the food truck suddenly drives away. Yeah, I definitely need more frames. I just don't want it to take more time. Yeah, this is always it's a 9 minutes now for this thing. That's the main reason I didn't want to do that. But we're just gonna run it through Vase and see what it does. I think it's gonna be like really messed up when Vase gets a hold of it. I need to talk about what the back of her hair is too to be more consistent. Why does it look like King of the Hill back there, bro? Is that just me? It looks like King of the Hill back there, man. Like, what is going on? Get a 4090 sending me through that. I don't know if I'm gonna do that one. Hey, you know what though, guys? These graphics cards have great resale value, by the way. Especially if you get one like if you manage to find one for a deal on Amazon. If you upgrade, you might actually be able to make a profit. Because people will buy these things used. Oh man, that was so fast. Oh my god. That's probably gonna look like trash. That was way too fast. Was that even a minute? Yeah, what in the world is this? A minute 25. What did I do differently? What is this? That is so. Oh, this doesn't work. That's right. You can't do that. You can't put Wanty Cash with it. And Leighton. Let's run it one more time. Yeah, I was not right. I did not do that right now. The 4090 costs the same as a car here in Brazil? Jeez. Well, to be fair, the what do you call it? Those what's the H100s or whatever? Those cost about as much as a car here. It's still moving pretty fast though. I guess because this is only a 1.3 billion parameter though. That's probably why. I was like, why is this thing moving so fast? I still don't think it's gonna look good. I just I don't think it's paying attention that well. But this, I don't even know what to think of this. 1.3B is gross, man. I don't know. You know, I just saw like a Arcane Gang. Oh, dude, I should do that. Yeah, no, yeah, it is pretty good. I probably should have. Well, they don't have. Do they have a 1.3 billion for image to video? Does he have one? I don't even know if he has one for image to video. Again, does anybody know what the Phantom stuff is? Because I haven't looked into that. These Phantom nodes he has, or not nodes, but models. God, where is it? Same two coexist, same flux, vid. One. Here we go. Like these Phantom 14B, like I have not looked into that at all. Image to video 14B. Yeah, I don't think there's a 1.3 billion. Oh no, wait. No, it's text to video. Yeah, I don't think there is one for image to video. Oh well. What did it do? Yeah, it's complete nonsense. Alright, well. Base doesn't really seem to work well with this idea, so let's not use that. We're just not going to do that. And you know, I actually have used the trim latent. I've used it without the little parameter that comes off the wand base node. I just put in like this. Oh crap! What I assumed was like an amount of frames, like just like the clip off. But I don't think you would need it for this anyways, because it's not. Maybe you might want to use it if you're using that wand fun control thing, but for this, I don't think it's really useful at all. But yeah. I haven't really messed with it. I think first I haven't really messed with it. I think it was the first to do it, the reference frame for V to V restyle and whatnot. I might be confused on that actually. I'm not sure. Yeah, I have to. There's so much stuff to like look into and research, man. It's hard to keep track of all this stuff. Yeah, look, even that, like the trim latent thing, man. Most of it is just me hypothesizing what it really means. Is what it's doing based upon what I saw in the results. Because I tried to look up information on that, like any type of documentation on trim latent, and I didn't see anything. I was like, what? Nobody's talking. It's just they just threw it in there, and it was like, okay, don't mention what it means. You just go by what it sounds like it means. Trimming off excess of the latent image, which again, I really think that's what it's doing anyways, because I did try to use it without, like, just use it on something like this, and if you look at the result, it seems to cut out a few frames. That's basically what it does, and I believe it does it on the first part of the video, not on the last end, but the first part of the video. That's where it trims it off on the latent image. So it does it in that regard. But I'm not quite sure if it adds frames back in to compensate for that. If you know, because I mean, like if you ask for 36 frames, or I guess in this case 49, right? But it gave you, since you put in the trim latent, take off 3, I don't think it actually gives you 46 frames. I think it still gives you 49. So I think it trims off the little figuring it out part at the beginning, and then adds 3 more frames at the end of it to like finish off whatever frames are required, I guess. But that's an assumption. because again, I really don't know. I don't see any documentation on this. I really can't say what it's specifically doing. Yeah, it does. I can't say that on the thing. I'm trying to keep my channel from PG, I guess you could say. But yes, that's what it's doing, Everton. I think you're right on, you're spot on that. Yes, I do try to keep this channel family friendly. You know what's interesting? I did this before where I purposefully, it only works on when you have a negative and positive prompt. I purposely did this where I took the positive prompt and put it in the negative prompt at the same time. Again, if it's a Flux thing where it doesn't really factor in the negative prompt, it doesn't really work. But it does this thing when you put in the negative prompt and the positive prompt as the same thing, where it just like contradicts each other, but it creates this like weird, catastrophic, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it turns it into this abstract painting or something like that just like goes off the rails. But I loved it so much. It works really really well in Chroma. But yeah, I just like breaking stuff sometimes just to see what happens. Like, it's just fun. But yeah, if you want to do something like kind of like outside of the box, or at least have because here's the thing, I think it was one of the first tutorial videos I did where I just didn't I didn't actually prompt anything, and Stable Diffusion just came up with this weird thing that I thought looked like an underpainting. And after I did that, I was like, huh. So what if you had something like that looked like crazy like that? And to me, this is a whole new realm of like AI artistry, in the sense that like the level of like when I, as a fine artist, when I was doing stuff with fine arts, it's that, mistake you make that kind of informs the rest of the piece. But this type of mistake, quote unquote, is unique to AI. Like, this is not something that you would find somewhere else that you could do, which I think makes it really intriguing. So like, how many more types of things could you do like via this? Like just messing around with the nose and like messing with like the denoise and all that kind of stuff, and with the scheduler to create something that doesn't make sense, and then take that, right? Now you have a whole new noise level, like, right? Or quote unquote noise level. The idea is that you have this abstract image that has a little bit of like a piece of what you were talking about inside of it already. And then now do an image to image of that. What can you create from that? It's like trying to see like a new vision of something within like the clouds, and like saying, oh, that's a cat, that's a dog, but like it's based upon these kinds of like, that same artistry thing. Because I think really, to me, I think about this all the time, and like I know there's this whole war between like art and the world of AI right now, which I think is misguided. Because I think mostly it has to do with like people and corporations, more so than it does have to do with AI. But I think if there were more artists in the AI world, then you start to see more intriguing things like that, because they would look at it, because the artistry comes from the creative mind of the person, and once they start looking at it like that, these really interesting things start to happen, because you just get enough people thinking differently about how to achieve something, and like magic happens. Yeah, I believe the same thing. AI can at least a lot of the potential we have, because we're not we're not bogged down by like trying to, because I know I spent an intense amount of time as a visual artist, like doing figure drawing, and while I do appreciate everything I learned from doing that, I also realized I put a lot of time in doing something that was just the motions, like of just like making it come out like I want it to come out, but it's not the actual part that, when I was taking like the upper level like courses, it's all about like the concepts and what you're trying to say. Like, are you really expressing your idea to the point where it gets across what you're saying and connecting with the viewer. And just because you can draw a line that looks really well is not the same thing as connecting with your audience. Because if that's the case, how was Basquiat so big? Because I don't think he was that. I don't think he had any schooling, actually. I don't think he actually had any formal training. But that's not what people liked about his work. Or at least, you could say that Andy Warhol made it big. But at any rate, I won't get too much into that discussion. But yeah, I just think there's a whole lot of potential of like things you could do if you just think outside the box for a second too. Like, you learn the rules only to break the rules. So that way you can come up with something really cool. And there might be something really its own kind of, I guess, artistic movement based upon like just screwing with it. All right, here we go. The final iteration. What shall it be? Shall it be another? Will it be more noise than whatever this is? It's like some weird thing where this guy is like, "Oh my god, it's a black screen of death." Well, if that's not a sign off, I think I just mixed something up with the models too much. Yeah. Oh well. That's one way of doing it. Yeah. It was probably something I'll load. Either I need to reload this thing or I put in the wrong model. I think I didn't put in the wrong model, but at any rate, you can see in the stream where I got it right. Well, I'm pretty sure it's this right here. It's just bad. Usually when it's this black screen stuff, it's something how the model that was loaded, one of the models loading, whether it's the VAE, and the only one I changed was this one, I think. Yeah, but it's probably something stuck in memory, and I don't feel like going to that right now because I've been online enough. I've been on here long enough. I will do something with this. I will put this workflow on Patreon. I want to see if I can actually figure out this though at some point. If I can figure out how to do this without you having to draw on it like this. Because yeah, I would like that not have to be a thing, that you can just take a black part out right here. And I have to do this with different notions. Maybe I'll do another live stream, come back to this workflow, and do a whole new set of images to try to achieve that goal. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you all for coming to the stream. Try the LBM if you have time to try to use the image. Okay, yeah, I'll look into that. I will try that, Everton. Thank you for your suggestion. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I will leave this up on the channel so you can watch and peruse or whatever to your heart's content. I hope you guys have a great day or evening or night or wherever you guys are in this world. And yeah, have fun with this AI stuff, guys. Signing off.